December 5th, 1996, 7:30 a.m., Caripa, Colombia. A 27-year-old man named Isidro Segundo Gil kissed his wife goodbye and walked to work at the local Coca-Cola bottling plant. He never made it through the front gate. Two men on a motorcycle pulled up and shot him 8 times, right there at the entrance to a Coca-Cola facility. And I have to warn you, what you're about to hear is going to completely change how you look at that red logo forever. Now, before we go any further, you need to understand who Isidro is. He wasn't just some random worker. He was the leader of the local union. And in 1990s Colombia, that made him a marked man. You see, Colombia in the 90s was basically a war zone. Paramilitary groups were everywhere. And here's the thing, they weren't just random militias. They were businesses, death squads for hire, and Colombian companies knew exactly how to use them. The deal was simple. You pay them, they eliminate your problems. And Coca-Cola's local managers had a big problem. The workers at their Carapia plant were organizing. They wanted crazy things like living wages, safety equipment, basic human rights. So on the morning of December 5th, someone made a phone call. Luis Adolfo Cardona was walking to work that same morning. He saw the whole thing. 2 men on motorcycle. They didn't even try to hide it. They shot Isidro 8 times and drove away. But here's what's really messed up. That was just the beginning. After the murder, the paramilitaries went to work. They burned down the union office, destroyed all the documents. Then they visited every single union member personally. The message was clear: resign or die. And guess what? They all resigned. Every single one. The Coca-Cola plant was now union-free. Problem solved, right? But here's where it gets interesting. Isidro's wife, Alcira, wasn't going to just let this go. She started asking questions, making noise, and that's when the story started to spread. A human rights lawyer in Miami heard about what had happened, and when they started digging, they found something that changed everything. This wasn't the first time. Guatemala, same thing. Union leaders dead. Turkey, same pattern. It was like Coca-Cola had a playbook for dealing with unions, and that playbook involved murder. 2001, the families had had enough. They filed a lawsuit in Miami federal court, and I'm talking about a big lawsuit, $495 million. The charges were explosive. Coca-Cola had conspired with death squads to murder union leaders. Now you might be thinking, surely there's no way they could prove something like that. But the evidence was damning. Internal company emails, financial records showing payments to paramilitary groups, witness testimony from people who were there. One email from a Coca-Cola manager literally said, and I'm quoting here, "We need to eliminate the union problem permanently." But here's the thing about Coca-Cola. When you're worth $100 billion, you don't fight lawsuits with evidence. You fight them with lawyers. Lots and lots of lawyers. March 31st, 2003. The day the American justice system showed its true colors. The Miami federal court dismissed the case. The judge's reasoning? This happened in Colombia, not America. But wait, let me explain what happened here. Coca-Cola's defense wasn't, "We didn't do it." Their defense was, "You can't prove we did it here." They argued that their Colombian bottling plants were independent contractors. Independent, even though Coca-Cola controlled every aspect of their operations. Even though every bottle sold made Coca-Cola money. Even though they knew exactly what was happening. It's like hiring a hitman and then saying, "Hey, I didn't pull the trigger." The families got nothing. $0. But remember Alcira, Isidro's wife, the one who kept asking questions? In 2000, the paramilitaries killed her too. A woman seeking justice for her murdered husband became a target herself. Coca-Cola's official statement? "We don't condone violence." Now, most companies would think, okay, we won the lawsuit, story's over. But they were wrong. Because in 2003, a labor organizer named Ray Rogers heard about this case, and he was pissed. He launched something called the Campaign to Stop Killer Coke. And this guy, he didn't mess around. He crashed Coca-Cola shareholder meetings. He organized boycotts at over 60 universities. He created a website called killercoke.org. That's still active today. And here's what's crazy. It worked. More than 45 labor unions worldwide joined the boycott. Coca-Cola's stock price started to reflect the controversy. The company that taught the world to buy the world a Coke was now known as Killer Coke. Today, almost 30 years later, this story is still out there. The families never got their $500 million, but they got something that might be worth more. They got the truth. And that's a truth that Coca-Cola can never escape. So the next time you see that red logo, remember Isidro Segundo Gil. Remember that some secrets are too big to stay buried.